Let me now introduce Ujjwal Nikam. Ujjwal ji, thanks for joining us on this 15th anniversary. When the case started and you were made aware that you were becoming the public prosecutor, what was the first challenge in your mind?
Frankly speaking, I have conducted number of trials against the hardcore terrorists, including the Bombay bomb blast case of 1993. I was in the Ortho jail for the state trial for about 12 to 13 years, and thereafter when this case, that is the terror attack of 26 November on Mumbai, was entrusted to me, my stay in the jail was extended for a further 1 year. So totally I was in the jail for about 14 years, in a lighter vein I can say. But frankly speaking, when the government has decided to entrust this case to me, it was a biggest challenge for me. Biggest challenge not for doing the marshalling evidence so that Kasab should be sent to gallows, but the big challenge was to expose the role of the Pakistan. Because the 10 terrorists came on the night of 26 November from Pakistan with certain mission, and certain identity cards, Indian identity cards were found with them. So it is obvious they were trying to conceal their identity, that they are origin from Pakistan. And to expose their role, not only their role, but the role of the Pakistan behind the terror attack of 26 November, I would say the role of Pakistan means the Lashkar-e-Toiba, that is Jamaat-ud-Dawa, and certain Pakistan army officials, which I had exposed later on by examining David Headley. So frankly speaking, this trial was not only challenged, but to conduct such a mammoth trial and to dispense with the justice within shortest possible time, that was a moot question before me, and I finished this trial within the span of 10 to 11 months in Mumbai Session Court and 10 months in the Bombay High Court, and later on in the Supreme Court about a year.
Okay, Ujjwal, to the best of your, as memory serves you, sir, the evidence that was brought forth during the course of the trial, how much do you think made its way into the dossiers that eventually went as evidence to the Pakistanis?
See, after execution of Ajmal Kasab, I had been Islamabad, along with the 3 high officials of the government of India. It's an official delegation. We stayed in Islamabad for about 8 days, and we had a long meetings with the Pakistani Home Ministry officials, as well as their army officials were also present. And we told them categorically, look, the conspiracy behind the terror attack of 26 November was hatched on the soil of Pakistan. And it is for the Pakistan to prosecute seriously the perpetrators of the terror attack, including Hafiz Saeed and Zakir Rahman Lakwi. No doubt Pakistan had arrested some small fries, about 6 to 7 persons whose role was not that way major role behind the conspiracy. But Pakistan's constantly telling us that India should furnish us evidence. I was really amused that criminal conspiracy was hatched on their soil, and still they were asking the evidence. And later on when we came back to India, then later on I have examined David Headley in Mumbai court through video link.
I remember.
This is again for the first time a foreign terrorist evidence. We have taken live evidence through video link in Mumbai court, and David Headley has given the very sensitive revelation disclosing the close connection between Lashkar-e-Toiba and Pakistan, some of the army officials. It is not the only contention of David Headley, but David Headley also had produced email correspondence which was exchanged between Lashkar-e-Toiba, with the telephone directory of the Pakistan Army officer number, which was written in his own handwriting, which he had produced in the Chicago court also. And Chicago court had relied upon that evidence, and Chicago court had convicted David Headley for about 35 years.
Correct.
So we had presented the entire this evidence, that is David Headley's testimony, as well as Ujjwal Kasab's his own confession, how Ujjwal Kasab and 9 his deceased colleagues were trained in handling the sophisticated weapons and etc., how to interact with their handlers in Karachi, in the control room, and how to kill the innocent persons.
Yes, and we know how that played out, right? We know the Pakistani media went to Ajmal Kasab's village and spoke to his family members who said that the LAT took them and paid us 2 lakh rupees. Then they blockaded, the Pakistani army came and blockaded the village. They refused to recognize Ajmal Kasab as a Pakistani. They refused to take back his body. But when it came to Hafiz Saeed and Lakhvi and all the trials and the sham arrests and bails and all that, what do you make of what happened there in your memory, sir?
Pakistan initially was in the denying mode. Pakistan said that this is not a sufficient evidence against Hafiz Saeed and Zakir Lakhvi. We told them that you conduct this trial in open court. Why you are conducting this trial in camera? In Mumbai, we have conducted trial against Ujjwal Kasab in an open court, allowing media person, whereas in the Pakistan media is banned. They are not publishing what is happening in Pakistan court. Now today also we don't know. That trial against the small fries is still pending in Pakistan court. That is being conducted. That is what they said. And Pakistan, when we have furnished the testimony of David Headley to Pakistani authorities, our present foreign minister, Mr. Jairat was at that time, he was the foreign secretary.
Yes.
And we have marshaled the whole evidence to them through the
so
NEA.
how frustrating is it, Mr.
Pakistan
Nikam?
has not acted upon
so
that
how
evidence.
frustrating is it when we see Hafiz Saeed in whatever end stage of health he is now in? How frustrating is it that eventually X could not be done other than furnishing proof? We were hoping the Pakistanis would take action and they never acted. He's still free.
Frankly speaking, we don't have any extradition treaty with Pakistan, and we, no doubt, earlier also we mounted so much pressure upon the Pakistan to take action against Hafiz Saeed, Zakir Rahman Lakhvi, but they are not taking any action. And I think, I personally feel that we should raise this issue before again the United Nations Security Council, because earlier also Financial Action Task Force have taken some action, because the FAT has a report. They have published a report that the Pakistani authorities are still indulging in terrorist activities, and they have banned to give financial aid to the Pakistan. Again, they have lifted it. So it is for the Pakistan, because the Pakistan has to understood that by supporting terrorist people and their organization, indirectly Pakistan will also face the same.
I just want to address one more individual convict in this case, Tahawur Rana, sir, who was, of course, in cahoots with Headley. That extradition case is still going on. What do you make of it, where it has reached?
Though we have an international treaty with extradition treaty with the US authorities, and that stage is now at a very mature stage, and I am told that US court has allowed, so far as the extradition of Tahawur Rana is concerned, but he has preferred an appeal that is pending in US court. So let us wait and hope, but I am very optimistic
still
that US government will take a serious note of it. And because Tahawur Rana was the master of David Headley.
Yes.
And Tahawur Rana has been convicted by US court also. So Tahawur Rana is a basically Pakistani person. He was serving as a doctor in Pakistan Army for 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So he had a close association with the Pakistan Army officer.
But it's been 15 years.
Let us see what happens
Nikamji,
in
it's
US court.
Yeah, 15 years, here we are, 15 years later, time has passed by. I've been speaking to you, off and on for these. We've been doing these interviews off and on for past 15 years. Do we look back and really consider seriously that just sending the dossiers wasn't enough, that we should have taken a stronger position, maybe even done something, and that subsequently now when we've seen the, Uri and then of course the strikes in Balakot and the surgical strike, that this is different. This is a different India responding.
Indeed, India has a strong will to fight against the terrorists, and even aftermath of the terror attack of 26 November, India has done very strong counter strategy policy also. And therefore, after 26 November attack, nobody had courage and dare to attack or to do or to indulge in such type of terror activity again in India. That is the, I think, success of ours. And I wish that no one should dare to attack India in any way, otherwise that person or that country will face serious music.
Well, to a duty that he performed well, because of course Kasab was convicted and paid for his crimes after having faced trial in an open court of law in India, despite all of us literally seeing the photographs of him roaming around, shooting people and hearing one of his victims at the beginning of this telecast. Ujjwal Nikam, thank you for your service to our country and appreciate you speaking with us.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.